Oi, what's up boys and grots and little snots, and can't forget the digger knobs. GORKAMORKA'S workshop.
Hey, what's going on everybody? This is G The Hypersapien, and in this video we're going to have a look at Ork Squiggoth. As you can see, I've got a pile of loot in front of me. In all these little baggies we have our good old big boy himself. So I'll bust these bags open and we'll have a look. Now, it's a nice heavy bit of resin this is. As you can see, it's got a nice amount of detail in his face. You can see welds around the spikes that are attached to his armour. You know, and there's not too much cleanup. We'll probably find bits and pieces. I can already see under here. Here's some. But yeah, nice crisp detail. Well, this part here is where the jaw piece attaches to the Squiggoth. Looks like he's got some piercings, some nice big chompers. A little bit of cleanup around there. He's got another ring or piercing there. As mentioned before, it's got some welding marks. That's going to be sort of fun to paint, just to make that stand out. Nice chain around him. A couple of chains to keep that armour on. It's got all these studs and rivets. Bit of battle damage. Nice scales on him. These really nice chunky chains that go into a bit of a loop there, just to keep this back on him as he rampages through the battlefield leading the war. Or maybe he'll be in the back, just when shit hits the fan, bring out the Squiggoth. Nice bits of plating and details and little holes and rips and tears and dents. And this is like textured here. He's got another chain around his tail. So this looks really nice here. That's the main part of this big bastard right here. Looks quite nice. Now, maybe a bit of clean up around the teeth and face and stuff. It looks like the main parts are around here, where the legs join and his underbelly. You can obviously see a bit of work is needed here. Files or sanding sticks, maybe a pair of clippers. Should be alright. I mean, you're not really going to necessarily see that part anyway, but you obviously want to clean it up. Now I'll grab these legs out and we'll have a look. As you can see, nice bit of detail. It's got some variation in what the scales look like. When it starts getting to the feet and the foot, the sides, the scales start getting a bit bigger. Start getting smaller as they go up the body. A little bit of clean up there. Mentioned before, nice panels, you know, where they've bashed it and pulled it apart and some welding bits, some chain, some loops chain, some studs. It'll be roughly be there. Might need a bit of green stuff once it's glued on. So yeah, obviously I need to hold it in place, but when I do, it seems to fit not too bad. Most likely need some sort of putty to fill those gaps, but it looks like you could put it together and paint it without needing sub-assemblies, at least for the legs. Doesn't look like there's many parts that you won't be able to get to with the paintbrush. I mean, if you've got an airbrush, all the better, but unfortunately I don't. But yeah, as you can see, underneath needs some cleanup. Looks like you can smack him together and paint him that way. I'll quickly run through all the legs, even though they're pretty much going to be the same. Now this natural spike here, the last one had a bit of a tab on it, this one doesn't. It still needs a bit of cleanup though. Swing him around, he's got some battle damage, like where it's getting into the inner flesh of the beast. Yeah, that's another foot. As mentioned before, there's some battle damage where you can see the inner flesh where he's been wounded by a, explosion, bullet or whatever. It's even got a bit on his toe here, the toenail. Looks like there's a bit of damage there. The front plates are quite nice. A bit different from the back. This one's sort of coming downwards. So yeah, it's nice they've got a bit of variation to the front and back. Now this is the other one. Again, this time he doesn't have a wound on the front, so I'll tell a lie. It looks like more of a slash here instead of a hole. If you can see that, it's sort of like a scar, or you can even see a bit of the inner flesh. So yeah, it's probably going to be a little bit difficult, but try and put these legs on so you can see what he looks like. I would show you him built, but obviously it's going to take a while to clean him. It's resin, so he's going to need his little rubber dub scrub, and I'll most likely need to pin him. I'm not sure, this body's quite heavy, and yeah, all that glue and stuff, but once he's up and running, I'll do another little showcase video where we'll spray him. If you want, let me know in the comment section if you want to see me paint this, if you want to showcase once he's built, yeah, whatever, I'm all good for that. So yeah, that's him when he's running. That's him when he's got his front legs. We'll do this big one next, I guess. Bust this open. We'll have a look. Now, it's got his jaw piece in here as well. The jaw piece. It's a little bit more flimsy feel in this bit. You want to be a bit more careful here. It just feels like this could, towards the end, it feels like this could snap easily here. So, unless I'm mistaken, I'm pretty sure this part comes off anyway, so you need to remove this bit. This bit at the back. So this is the first time I've had a look anyway at this. I've had it for a little bit sitting there waiting for me to review. But yeah, if you've had one before, you can always give me some pointers if you would like. And then we have this nice part. So this is the carriage part, or whatever you would like to call it. It's the part obviously where the boys or the orcs themselves get inside so they can basically help control this huge beast, direct him a little bit more. Yeah, you can see sort of some glyphs. See, this part looks like sort of a hatch or a door. Nicely designed, all these little bits and pieces, these panels. Nice design there. Yet again, you can see some welding marks on some parts, mainly on the parts they've attached to it, more so than the main body of the carriage. Little welding marks. That one looks like it's sort of more metal, or it's got sort of, you know, that texture to it. A few little holes and whatnot there, as in moulding holes, where the bubbles would have been. Skull's a little bit worse for wear. Probably be adding bits and pieces to it anyway. I mean, it's really nice, but I'm probably going to customise it at least a bit, hey? Have to at least make it mine by adding bits and pieces on it. Looks like that's another bit that you take off. But yeah, it's quite nice. We'll have a quick look inside this cockpit part. You've got a wrench and some little lever here. It's probably to open up these doors, right? You should pull it. You're not too flash with the mechanics. Guessing you pull that down and these doors or hatches open. Looks like a sort of little ammo belts here. Sort of the things that you'd get on boys. It'll be interesting to see what you can fit inside here. How many or whatever. But we might customising it and adding a little bit of stuff here, there, even attach stuff here like fuel canisters or maybe even a couple of guns. Now, so the guns come separate for this, so I have to look into what I'll do there. Oh yeah, my bad, he has one here and one this side. So after inspecting it a bit more, my bad, it does have two here, but only has the one door. This side is basically patched up. You've got your average strap with the ammo on it that boys and whatnot normally have. Got this little hinge on the door. The last bag, we'll bust this open. Now in this bag, it's mainly just little bits and pieces. So you've got a ladder to get the boys into that cockpit, that little carriage part. Probably sound fairly noob here, because it's the first time I've looked at this kit up close. I'm seeing pictures, but sometimes you miss the little details. I'm not sure if that's where... I'm not sure if these are attachments for the tail or not. Where the tail would be. Not sure why you'd get two, maybe for variation, or I'm missing where they go. Pretty sure it goes in here. Looks like it might fit maybe there. Just looks like it's a similar shape. Now you've got all these different horns, so now you have all these little bits and obviously some horn. It looks a little bit too small, but I'm not sure if that's the one that goes there. So, and we've got these little bits. It's like a hook part. So, off the top again, I apologise, but I'm not really quite sure exactly where this goes. I should have studied it a little bit more before I just bust it open, but yeah, you get all these sort of, so you get two of these little hooky parts by the look of it. Get another individual. You get different size pieces of this. And you get a part that looks like it's a part of a orc claw, but yeah. I'm sure I'll work out where to put them, or if someone wants to give us a hand and point out where. If not, as I said, I'm going to customize it anyway, so might be not just nice little bits to have, just to do as I please with. But yeah, I'll leave a couple of images of what it looks like when it's built, and we'll probably be able to work out where these bits go anyway from looking at the. One last thing I was going to do, show you an orc boy. So this is one of my orc boys here. That's him next to the foot. So this is one of my orc boys here next to his foot. So as you can see, a boy is even smaller than the Squiggoth's foot, which is cool. This is one of the back legs and feet, which are even bigger than the front. That's an orc boy next to the ladder. So the ladder could have been a bit more bigger, I reckon. This is an orc boy in the cockpit carriage part. So, you know, it looks like you could get about 4 of them in there, or a couple and some grots. You know, orcs are going to be fighting over space, but at the end of the day, once they're speeding through into battle, they're not going to care too much. Put them in a few different positions. As you can see on his belt here, it's the same sort of design as this here. Out the back. But yeah, this is my Ork Squiggoth review. I hope you liked it. And as always, I appreciate you watching and supporting the channel. And I'll catch you later. Cheers.